The oil and gas industry was on Wednesday thrown into some form of confusion as the chief executives of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, Engineer Gbenga Komolafe, and his downstream counterpart at the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Engineer Farouk Ahmed, resigned from their offices. The two agencies, NUPRC and NMDPRA, have the statutory responsibility of ensuring compliance with petroleum laws, regulations, and guidelines in the upstream and downstream, respectively. Engineer Komolafe and Engineer Ahmed were appointed CEOs of NUPRC and NMDPRA in September 2021 by former President Muhammadu Buhari following the enactment of the Petroleum Industry Act. The two served in these positions and reported directly to President Bola Tinubu, who doubles as the petroleum minister, until their resignations on Wednesday. The NMDPRA boss was recently dragged to the Independent Corrupt Practices and other related offenses by industrialist Mr. Dangote. Well, let's look at these issues critically again today and what it means for the entire industry. A lot of developments have been around this issue, and you will agree with me that we'll just pick the facts and stay with the major issues that are being brought up, that has come up from this whole back and forth with regards to the oil and gas industry. My guest is Dr. Billy Gilihari, is the president of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Petran. He joins me from Port Harcourt for this conversation. Dr. Gilihari, it's good to have you. Good afternoon and compliments of the season.
Thank you so much, Tolu, and compliments of the season too, and my greetings to all Nigerians.
All right, interesting stuff. Well, I think my first question to you really that has been running through me is that the resignation of these two heads of agencies in the oil and gas industry, does it really pose any risk to the entire industry?
Well, first, the resignations have been accepted by Mr. President, and he has already sent replacement. So it's changing of buttons, the way I see it. I think that integrity is what has driven Engineer Farouk Ahmed to put in the resignation. Otherwise, I believe that he's a man of good character and has the competent value to be able to run the downstream industry, the downstream regulation authority. But however, it's change of button, so there's going to be some few changes, I believe. Every leader comes in with their own inspirations, and also their method of communication with those who they are going to be serving. So I really don't see much of the damage that is going to bring. The people that are appointed are seasoned, they're professionals, and they have capacity also to fill in the gap. So let's wait and see what's going to come in the next few days.
Interesting stuff. But we know that there's been developments in Nigeria's downstream space. One is price fluctuations that we've seen. Just before I came into the studio, I saw that NNPC has also announced that they are reducing price, I think by about 80 naira or also at their depots. And we've also seen that MRS filling stations across the country are selling at 730 something naira in some cases. First, I'd like you to react to this and also what it means for other players in this industry.
Well, pricing that should run the industry, in my opinion, should be cost efficient. It should be, business reflective in terms of ensuring that we are able to buy and sell and continue to keep the station wet. But we are happy that prices have reduced, whether they are for the long time or just for the short time. We hope, that sustainability will be the focus of what Nigerians should have. In our opinion, we should not just be changing prices, in the middle of the game. It's just changing the rules. I mean, when we buy product and you're on your way to your retail outlet, suddenly prices go up or prices come down. That's not a very sound way to do business. But we're in there and we're going to storm the weather, I believe.
So indeed, this flip-flop with pricing, I'd like to know how it also affects marketers, because in some cases we've had that argument that landing cost of PMS and of course local production, what's this flip-flop with regards to pricing around both products?
Well, we have Africa's largest refinery resident in Nigeria, and we're proud and thankful to Alhaji Aliko Dangote for that investment. And we believe that there's quite a lot of benefit that we should have, Nigeria should have. However, it would take a very consistent Siamese twin play between those who are refining and those who are marketing to be able to ensure that Nigerians get better pricing at all times. And the pricing so far that is there, in my opinion, is not determined by any variable that can easily be tracked to what the market forces would determine. But I mean, every business has their own rules. And I believe that for whatever reason that Dangote has crashed the price down to 600 and something, it's beneficial for Nigerians. But at the end of the day, we hope that it will be sustained.
Sustainability really is important. Now, again, to ongoing projects and, of course, the implementation of the PIA, I am concerned about this. These two gentlemen, they've done a lot with regards to that implementation and working around that document. You know, I spoke to Professor Eludare yesterday, and he also gave his views regarding this. I'd like you to also tell us, considering the proper implementation of the PIA, how it has to do with everyone's interest, how do you think this change of Barton will affect this development?
Well, I addressed that earlier. A change of Barton at all times will come with its own attendant challenges. There will be need for communication, there will be need to interface, there will be need to reach out to the stakeholders and have effective communication to ensure that the industry stakeholders are in tandem with what the new realities will be. So in my opinion, these are seasoned professionals that have been in the industry for a long time. I know Mrs. Iyasan. She's a very thoroughbred professional that will deliver on the mandate. And Alhaji Saidu, also a very seasoned professional. So I think the best thing for us to do is just wait for them to resume, and then we see how they will take the handles of leadership and put the regulatory institutions to bear, to bring the best results for Nigerians to get the utmost best in our God-given gifts of oil and gas.
But again, to the contending issues, I'd like to ask you, how do we balance competing interests in Nigeria's downstream industry?
Well, the way to balance competing interests is by communication, by exchange of information, and by ensuring that that is dependable data for all of the decisions that are being made, whether they are for or against. The important thing is that the industry should serve Nigerians, and Nigeria should be the better for it. As it is today, we keep bantering the capacity of our giant refinery, and what the refinery has been able to do in the last few months, as with regards to the empirical evidence and data we have that we can use to work. It doesn't show that the refinery is producing what is required daily for Nigeria. And that is why the import, substitution is coming in. Because if there was no importation, for instance, then we would have been having shortages of products, and then we would have the same kind of situation we've been having before. However, we in the industry have taken a decision that we must patronize Dangote's products first. When we are done with that, then we look out for the balance. And so for me, it would have been a very, very beautiful scenario if Dangote Refinery is working with the stakeholders and always stay in tandem with what is needed to keep the industry thriving. Not a situation where one player is waking up and flagging the big stick on other people. Like, I mean, some of the interviews that I've watched where Dangote himself is saying that, yes, he's losing money and everybody's losing money. And at the end of the day, he's not going to give up the fight. So that is not what a patriotic Nigerian should say, because we are all looking to serve Nigerians. And the more retail outlets that are able to buy product and deliver to the consumption centers, the better. So the only way to make this balance work is by regulators really looking into the debt, because of course the PIA has done its bit, but PIA is a written document that needs tests, needs to be, it needs to be tested. So these are some of the process of the testing that's going to bring out a full and final answer as to what can be done in the industry. So in my opinion, we should be able to put in as much value as possible to get the entire industry stakeholders to be on one page. And that is why Petron called for the president and the National Assembly to wade into the matter and resolve these issues once and for all.
You just talked about importing now to balance up what is on the ground. Some have the understanding that a 650,000 barrels refinery should be able to meet up our daily consumption. So can we, if you have the figures, can we know what percentage we are and why we still have to import?
Well, the figures we have that we can depend on today is the one we get from NMDPRA. And I believe that is the subject of the fight, because information is sacred. And at the end of the day, we just need to focus on what exactly is the truth. Data is what we need now. Honest data to be able to guide what is, and not he say, she say. We need to be able to pursue what the values are and look at how best we can serve Nigerians. Yes, 650,000 barrels a day refinery should be able to serve Nigeria's value, but are we producing to optimal capacity today? The answer is no. So we need to get back to the table and discuss and put things working. This fight is unnecessary. This disagreement is unnecessary. In our opinion, because we are businessmen and what we want to do is buy product, deliver to our clients, and ensure that we have business that is serving Nigeria's valuable economic growth process. So that's what we're supposed to do. There's no need to flex muscles to determine who is superior or who will win the war. Because, referring to what Aliko himself said on television, that everybody is bleeding. He's losing money too, and everybody's losing money, but that he's sure is not going to be the last one complaining. So for me, that's not even the right way for anybody that is patriotic in Nigeria to be able to look at these issues. We love him, we value him, we want the investment to be successful. But you can't be successful by trying to push everybody out and then just only you being on the table. And that is the issue that we have been addressing. I may have disagreeing voices, but at the end of the day, I don't know what is wrong with all of us in Nigeria patronizing Dangote's refinery and also looking for, important values to be able to make up the difference. And I think that will balance the business.
Let's move on with. Well, let's go on now. The PIA again. The PIA again now. The implementation of this PIA is something that many have talked about. We've had a bit of selective implementation. In some cases, some have said that. But if we are to look at it in your own thoughts, aside from removal of subsidy and some other things that have been done, how well have we done with the implementation of that document? Because everyone expected that it should be a competitive market, open market, after the law was passed.
Exactly. So now the competitive market is a critical input and fallout of the PIA. But don't forget that the PIA was approved by the Buhari-led administration. And the same Buhari-led administration kept it in abeyance. And it took so many months for President Bola Tinubu to have the political will and the desire to grow the economy efficiently to call off the the subsidy regime. But that is only one part of the issue. So the document itself is a document that is living, and we have to continue to process how to make it adapt to the need of Nigerians. And we must be honest to ourselves as to what exactly we need to do and how we need to do them. So we cannot say that the PIA document itself is hook, line, and sinker, ready to deliver what we need. So we have to keep taking part and doing, which is one of the things I love about NMDPRA's process, because they take one part, they call stakeholders, we review it together, we disagree, we agree, and then they look at what, because you cannot be putting policies that are not implementable. And those of us who must obey the policy should have input and should be able to make our contributions to how we see it working. And that's what NMDPRA has done. Even NUPRIC itself did the same thing several times. So we think that that is the standard on which we should be able to operate. So if you are not there at the time of the review and the processes, then you cannot come back and say something is not well done. But as far as that document is concerned, it's comprehensive. It must take a little bit of time to make it work to the need of Nigerians.
All right, then. I don't think Mr. Harry heard me. Dr. Harry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you right now.
What is your outlook for the entire space as we move into a new year?
Well, we believe that everybody in the industry will come together on one page. We should be able to understand how we can support each other and make our business more successful. We want to serve Nigerians. While we serve Nigerians, you are not going to be doing that with loss in profit. You will not be, loss in business. You need capital. You need minimal profit to be able to continue to pay costs of money and ensure that we're able to deliver what we are supposed to do to Nigerians. So I'm expecting that the new administration of the new healthman will bring in new values on how Nigerians will be served better. And our expectation is consultation, discussions, collaborations, clarifications. This will help Nigerians also to know what exactly is going on, because I really feel very sorry for quite a lot of us who take some of all these things emotionally. It's not supposed to be emotional, because we have a need that must consistently be stable. And if we have to keep changing values up or down consistently, that does not help in planning our economic growth. So I will wish that the new enhancement, the Federal Competition Commission, FCCPC, should be able to work very closely with all stakeholders, including Aliko Dangote refinery, and get the answers that is needed.
All right, then.
Nigerians have been doing the best.
Dr. Billy Giliaris, thank you so much. President, Petroleum Products Retail Owners, Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.